Yeah, okay, here. Um, good, black. Okay, that's why do I have to put it like the good version or the black version? That's you're either the good guy or you're the black guy. That's okay. Okay. Anyway, that's, I've been waiting for a new Digimon Story game for like 5 or 6 years. I knew one was coming out. I remember it was announced like a while ago, but it seems to pretty much take forever. And I was so glad it finally came out. It was way better than expected, but let's talk about it. I actually really liked the story by the end of this. At first, it seemed pretty standard JRPG kind of stuff, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like really good either. It was more like you don't really care about the characters yet, like it's standard procedure kind of thing. Just hitting the notes. You know, halfway through, it does change and gets very quite depressing actually. So very dark as well. Like people are dying, time stuff happens. People still die. As people sometimes. Same amount sometimes, but like there's death everywhere. It's because it's a fucking war. Uh, and that just keeps continuing because this, like I said, the game takes place during a digital civil war. There's warring factions, and everybody loses in that situation because it shows like how it impacts all sides. There's constant casualties, and what it takes to move on. People who can't move on, people who do like things that they didn't plan on doing, and like shows like how really it shapes a person or Digimon in this case. Something though that was a bit of a pet peeve of mine was because this game is about the Olympus 12. That's named the group Digimon that this pretty much circle around, kind of like in some games it's the Royal Knights. Like so, this one's the Olympus 12. So they're pretty much based off the gods. So their enemies are Titans. One issue I have, like like the core fact of that, no issue with. Where it comes in is they never explain what a Titan is. One time they said, "Oh, they're ancestors of these dissenters that did this, did that," and then so we banished them away, and that makes perfect sense. But they all look the same. Like, they'll just walk by somebody's like, "Oh my god, it's a Titan." I'm like, how? It's not even certain Digimon that are Titans. It's not a certain type of Digimon. It's just they can always tell. Like there's no tell to the audience. Like so, I'm really confused about this situation. Like they never even wave it off saying, "Oh, we can tell." Like whether our data is corrupt. They didn't actually address it and try to address it in any like feasible way, which really did annoy me. I'm just like, okay. But like aside from that, I did enjoy the game overall, and I really liked where it went in the final hours. One of the final twists was explained very well. There are definitely better stories out there, of course, and I know they left some things hanging. Some things weren't properly explained because they knew people would be so focused on this one twist in the game that they wouldn't be thinking about, oh, but what about that? What about this? So it's like I don't know if it was intentional or if the writers themselves realized they didn't realize that they didn't announce something or fully address something. Who knows? And I know like it just didn't really add up in the end. Like I'm not trying to excuse it, but I'd say it wasn't too bad. It's more like a afterthought. I would say Like the point is they got to point A to point B, from point A to point B, and then I just did that. And it wasn't like they moved the goalposts near the end. It was like it was always the same goal at the end of the game. They kind of like changed some things, of course, but because things develop, people develop, characters develop, and all that. But yeah, it's I would say it will surprise you because a lot of people were surprised. Like just from what I've heard, I guess at the end of the day, like some people don't really recognize the franchise as being good for stories or being dark or any of that. I guess they just remember what Digimon was when they were a kid, and if you watched even one of those seasons back, now you realized how pretty messed up those kids had it sometimes. But that's neither here nor there. Now, most of this is standard JRPG gameplay. It's turn based, and if you're familiar with that, with a lot of series that are turn based, you more or less know what to expect. There are some slight additions, so like sometimes in battle you get a quick time event that adds more damage or changes something like based on the personalities, and since each Digimon has their own personality, so that it's like change like what like side abilities they can give. Some may attack twice, some may buff like the team at being in the fight. Some every time they do a certain attack, they get health back. It's kind of a mixed bag of different things. I'm sure you could actually exploit the hell out of the system. I just did not. I didn't even attempt to. But I'm pretty sure you could try. And there is also a lot of quality of life changes. That's the most important thing I would say here, especially compared to the last story games, which were for PS Vita. But even then, like a lot of these were just like common stuff you would see JRPGs back in the day, and even sometimes some more like right now still doing the same stuff. For example, you have no limit on well, okay, this is Digimon exclusive. You have no limit on the Digimon you can equip, which was something that very annoyed the hell out of me in the last game. Because in the last game you had a memory, so like you're like I think the start of the game you can start like 20 memory something like that, and then like a rookie Digimon will be like 5 or 6 memory, and then like you so you don't have like you'd have to be able to get 3 or 4 of them on your team, and then I'm pretty sure Mega was worth like 20 or 15. I think 20. So I can only have one on my team, and that's it. There were ways to block like you from getting mags and everything at the start of the game and everything, but it wasn't the same as just straight up blocking people like that. Especially because some of the memory in the last game was found from side quests, so it wasn't even like natural progression. And you know whatever. There's other stuff too. Like for example, you could digivolve in the middle of the menu, which is something that you couldn't do in the last game. The last game, you had to go to the Digilab, which is usually at the start of the dungeon, sometimes at the end of the dungeon, or like in between floors and stuff, and then go inside, go to your list of like several boxes, then Digivolve that way. This time, didn't have to do that. It was just go in the menu, uh, go to your whoever you want to, and then just click and choose who you want. Honestly, everything outside of changing stats in Digilab is now pretty much done in the menu, and you can be done at any time, and that's just fantastic. Also, you can switch as many Digimon as you want without wasting a turn, which is so annoying in RPGs. Oh, I just switched out my party member, and now my turn's over. Cool. I was just trying to set something up, but I can't even do anything else now because turn is over. Same thing with items. Oh, cool. I remember there are also so many times when a boss will be just hammering my team, and then I want to heal. And cool, I use a potion or use whatever item is in that game and use for healing, and then what happens? Turn done. Next turn, the boss does the same thing. and it's pretty much a cycle until someone else on my team, like, I decide I'm not healing you this turn, I'm gonna have you attack, and that is just so frustrating. In this game, you could like use items one time per turn, and then still attack. You know, actually, you could use an item, then switch your Digimon like 40 times, and then still be on the same turn, which I just loved because that was an annoying feature, honestly. Like I know like where it comes from. It's not just like exclusive JRPGs or RPGs in general, but it's just, oh, that's so annoying because they're still common ones to this day. Like Persona 5 still does that, and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, and I think also yeah, like a Dragon, basically, Yakuza 7 and Yakuza 8 does that same thing. They're turn based, the same thing of using the turns that way. It's annoying. But at least like this was addressed, and I'm just glad somebody did it. Like there's so many franchises out there. You would think it would have been done a long time ago. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't do it for some reason. Like maybe there's like some outside force that's not allowing companies to do this, and we don't know about. But all I know is that it wasn't here, and I love it for that. Now, leveling is kind of like the bread and butter of the franchise, and it's very weird in Digimon games, especially since your actual level is not as important as what kind of level you're looking at. Like, for example, like you could be a rookie level 99, it's not the same as if you're ultimate level 20. The ultimate's going to win. Unless that rookie just has fantastic stats, but let's not get into that. This is Digimon. Digivolution is key here, and that's where it's at. There's so many Digivolutions with so many different rules and stats required for all of them that you have to pretty much level up back and forth in order to Digivolve to either whatever form you want or multiple, whatever's going on. You're not gonna like you can't just like, oh, this needs to be that of like speed 720, HP 1000, and then you have like 88 and still not have that achieved. But then then of course you do all this other stuff and get it back up and running. Like and you got everything working, but then there's another Digimon that has the same requirements for something else, and then it's not as easy, and then you have to go back and forth, leveling up back and forth. That was just annoying as hell. But what really makes it annoying is how hard it is to grind in this game. In Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, I would just go to this like higher level floor, uh, have have like powerful Digimon with me, pretty much have them team wipe back and forth, and the Digimon I want to be like leveling up on my team with me is getting all the XP as well, and then I level them up back and forth, out Digivolve them back and forth over and over again, and then that's how it works. But you can't really do that in this game. I tried at the start of the game, and then it was just annoying as hell. So they did release this thing called Outer Dungeons. That's like 7.99, and it has a dungeon for XP, a dungeon for money, and a dungeon for materials. It kind of works similar to that, except they gave you an item that gave you the same XP and all that. Anyway, like, so that was nice, though. Of course, it's not nice you had to pay for it. You're just paying for the same experience. I pretty much only got it because I didn't buy the game at full price when it came out. Because apparently, if you like pre-ordered it, it would be like for $13 cheaper or something like that. So I decided to do that because I knew I was buying the game no matter what. So like pre-ordering did not have any effect on me whatsoever. And something that is nice in this game, though, that every Digimon levels up with you. So when you have a box of 99 Digimon, no matter what you do, they're leveling up. That I'm so glad instead of having to concentrate on the same party of three every time, while the other gets like, oh, these guys are level 20, but then you want to like try out this thing, you can't. Every time you level up, those guys level up. So like so if I got, let's say I converted Digimon and made like a level one, baby Digimon, whatever. How would I just go do some story stuff or do like side quests? By the time I finish, I know oh, that thing's on level 6. It keeps growing, and then I would just pay attention, like seeing how it's naturally getting all these stats that I want for it and everything. And then, of course, if you really need to go to a certain level, that requires a whole bunch of grinding, and then the outer dungeons comes into play there. I know. So to put in perspective, naturally, I got by the time I got to the ability to make ultimates, I made like 6 of them because I had the ability to make 6 of them. I've still had 2 of every element, and they were okay. They were getting to be like level 10, level 20, level 8, and that was it. Then I got the Outer Dungeons DLC, and I'd say with like by next time I played, like full session, I was okay. Like, because I before that, in between sessions, I did do like grinding with that Outer Worlds DLC, and then I had like 8 level 99 ultimates. And doing the hell out of me that I had to do this just to get them that way. I couldn't just grind like you do in other RPGs. No problem. No, it's like some games they give you XP like just as I don't know as a minimum requirement for RPG or something. I don't know because why not just let me level up the way I want to or as fast as I want to and all that? Why do I have to like I don't know. It just it annoyed the hell out of me. I would say that it's fun. Like if you're just like doing random whatever you want, sure. Like oh my gosh, even then, this doing the whole Digivolving thing was just a big hassle. So as I mentioned earlier, this game was announced a long time ago, and it definitely lived up to what I wanted. It took a PS Vita Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth game and brought it into the modern audience for all the consoles like usual, as well as PC. And even though I have my complaints, like I mentioned, the whole leveling system rant, that thing, it still has, of course, things like the OST is pretty good. Like it doesn't have a huge, I'd say, outlier like the Royal Knights theme to me, but it's still a pretty good soundtrack. Digimon got all the love it's been asking for years, and it did earn it. Some people's favorite RPGs in recent memories. Some people favorite Digimon game at least. It's definitely mine, and it's even brought, of course, new fans into the series because just out of curiosity. Plus, of course, the whole Pokemon stuff now. People not like Pokemon, all that, whatever. I can't get into that. The story was flawed, sure, and gameplay is not like fully groundbreaking, but it does do like the job in both aspects, and it's not terrible. It's just not masterful, I guess you say. But sometimes even then, it was still addictive. I'm sure by now it is getting a bit cheaper too, because it's been several months. I never really pay attention to how fast Steam brings stuff down, but I'm sure it's not going to be the same full price or anything like that. It'll give you dozens of hours of content too. It may be more expensive than Silk Song with less content, but honestly, Silk Song is abnormality, so let's not even get into that. I really love this. It did everything I wanted from it, and honestly, I just really hope they stick with this and either make a sequel or another Digimon Story game that is just as good, if not better. Thank you, and enjoy the game.